In a world of satellites, global surveillance, and instant information, we like to believe that we have mapped every corner of our reality. We think we have outsmarted the darkness, but there are files buried deep within history that even the most advanced science cannot explain. These are the glitches in our existence, the moments where logic simply vanished. Today, we are opening the Fact Vault to reveal 10 documented, verified, and terrifying events that defy everything we know. From vanishing aircraft to biological anomalies that haunt our shores, these are the truths that remain hidden in the shadows. Welcome to the Vault. Let's descend into the unknown. On the Dyatlov Pass incident, the Mountain of the Dead. In February 1959, 9 experienced hikers led by Igor Dyatlov disappeared in the frozen Ural Mountains of Russia. When search parties finally reached their camp, they found a scene that defied all logic. Their tent had been sliced open, not from the outside, but from the inside. As if they were desperate to escape something already in the tent with them, the hikers were found scattered across the snow, half-naked and barefoot in 30-degree below zero weather. But the injuries were what truly shocked investigators. Some had fractured skulls, while others had massive internal chest trauma with no external bruises, a force comparable only to a high-speed car crash. One woman was missing her tongue and eyes. Most chillingly, their clothing contained high levels of radiation. To this day, we don't know if it was a secret Soviet weapon, an infrasound-induced madness, or something far more ancient lurking in the Mountain of the Dead. Through the vanishing of flight MH370, the ghost plane. On March 8, 2014, a Boeing 777 carrying 239 souls took off from Kuala Lumpur heading to Beijing. The weather was perfect, the pilot was a veteran, and all systems were normal. Then at the border of air traffic control, the pilot calmly said, "Good night, Malaysian 370. Seconds later, the plane vanished. It didn't crash. It executed a series of complex manual turns, flying silently over the Indian Ocean for 7 hours as a ghost plane, despite the most expensive and technologically advanced search in human history, covering millions of square miles. The main wreckage has never been found. How does a massive modern aircraft simply disappear in the age of GPS and satellites? Was it a sophisticated cyber hijack, a mass murder-suicide, or did the plane enter a pocket of the world we don't yet understand? 3. The Salish Sea-Severed Feet, the Floating Mystery. Since 2007, a macabre phenomenon has haunted the misty shores of British Columbia, Canada, and Washington State. At least 21 detached human feet, still tucked neatly inside their running shoes, have washed up on the beaches. While forensic scientists suggest that the feet naturally detach during decomposition in water and float due to the foam in modern shoes, the mystery remains: why only here? And why did this horrifying cycle only begin in the 21st century? DNA has linked some feet to missing persons, but many remain unidentified. The sheer frequency of these finds has led many to wonder if there is a more sinister connection, a secret. The ocean is trying to tell us, one shoe at a time. 4. The wow signal, the echo from the void. In the summer of 1977, a radio telescope at Ohio State University was scanning the heavens when it picked up a powerful, narrowband radio signal coming from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius. The signal lasted for exactly 72 seconds, the maximum time the telescope was capable of observing it. It was so intense and so unique that the stunned astronomer, Jerry Eman, circled the data and wrote, "Wow," on the margin. It wasn't a satellite, it wasn't a reflection from a planet, and it has never been heard again. For decades, we have pointed our most powerful ears at that same spot in the sky, and we have been met with nothing but silence. Was it a deliberate beacon from a distant civilization, or a fleeting scream from the deep cosmos? The Hinterkaifeck murders, the ghost in the attic. In 1922, on a lonely farm in the German woods, 6 people were brutally murdered with a pickaxe. But the horror didn't start with the killings. Days before, the father, Andreas Gruber, told neighbors he found strange tracks in the snow, leading from the forest to the house, but none leading back. He heard heavy footsteps in the attic and found an unfamiliar newspaper in the kitchen. On the night of the murders, the family was lured into the barn one by one. The most disturbing detail? After the family was dead, the killer stayed on the farm for several days. Neighbors saw smoke coming from the chimney. The cattle were fed, and the killer even ate the family's food while their bodies lay nearby. Despite over 100 suspects, the ghost of Hinterkaifeck was never caught. 6. The Orang Medan, the terror of the seas. In 1947, several ships in the Strait of Malacca picked up a terrifying SOS message: all officers, including captain, are dead, lying in chart room and bridge. Possibly whole crew dead. This was followed by a final chilling sentence: I die. When rescuers finally boarded the Dutch freighter Orang Medan, they were met with a sight of pure horror. The entire crew was dead, their bodies frozen in positions of absolute fear, their eyes wide open and staring at the sun, their arms reaching towards something invisible. There were no wounds, no blood, and no signs of a struggle. As the rescuers prepared to tow the ship, a fire suddenly broke out in the hold, forcing them to flee just before the Orang Medan exploded and sank, taking its terrified crew to a watery grave. On the Taos hummed the invisible engine. In the quiet, artistic town of Taos, New Mexico, a small percentage of the population is plagued by a constant, low-frequency sound known as the hum. It sounds like a distant diesel engine idling just outside your window, but no matter where you go, you cannot escape it. Scientists, acoustic engineers, and government researchers have descended on the town with the most sensitive microphones on Earth, but they pick up nothing. It is a sound that exists yet cannot be recorded. Is it a byproduct of secret military experiments with low-frequency communication? Is it a tectonic anomaly within the Earth? Or is it a psychological phenomenon that is slowly driving the residents of Taos to the brink of madness? 8. The Dancing Plague of 1518, the Fatal Rhythm. In the streets of Strasbourg, France, a woman named Frau Trophea stepped out of her house and began to dance fervently. She didn't stop for 6 days. Within a month, 400 people had joined her in a frantic, unstoppable dance. They weren't celebrating. They were screaming for help, their faces twisted in agony as their bodies moved against their will. They danced until their feet were bloody, and many died from exhaustion, strokes, or heart attacks. There was no music, and no one could explain why they couldn't stop. Modern theories suggest mass hysteria or poisoning from ergot fungi, but the sheer scale and lethality of the event remains a haunting mystery of human psychology and the power of the unknown. First, the Oak Island Money Pit, the deadly trap. For over 220 years, treasure hunters, including future presidents, have risked everything to find what is buried. At the bottom of a mysterious shaft on Oak Island, Nova Scotia, every time a team gets close to the bottom, a sophisticated series of ancient flood tunnels engineered with genius-level precision drowns the pit with seawater. They have found fragments of parchment, ancient stone inscriptions, and even traces of gold. But the money pit has claimed 6 lives and millions of dollars. Who possessed the engineering knowledge to build such a lethal underwater trap hundreds of years ago? Is it the lost treasure of the Knights Templar, the crown jewels of France, or something so dangerous that it was meant to be buried forever? 10. The Cicada. 3301 Mystery, the Internet's deepest secret. On January 4th, 2012, a mysterious image appeared on the internet with a simple message. We are looking for highly intelligent individuals. To find them, we have devised a test. What followed was the most complex scavenger hunt in history, involving advanced cryptography, data security, ancient literature, and hidden physical locations from Paris to Seoul. No corporation claimed it. No government acknowledged it. Those who reached the final stage and solved the last puzzle were never heard from again. Was it a recruitment tool for a global intelligence agency, an elite hacker group, or a secret society operating in the shadows of the digital world? Cicada 3301 has gone silent, leaving behind a trail of puzzles that still haunt the internet today. The conclusion: our reality is far more fragile than we care to believe. We walk through our lives thinking we understand the world, but these 10 stories are proof that there are doors that lead to places science cannot go. Whether it is the frozen terror of Dyatlov Pass or the digital enigma of Cicada 3301. These mysteries remind us that we are still just children playing in the dark. Which of these mysteries haunts your thoughts the most? Do you have a theory that the world has ignored? Share your thoughts in the comments. The most compelling theories might be featured in our next investigation. If you are ready to keep exploring the darkest corners of human history, hit the subscribe button and enter the vault. I'm your host for the Fact Vault. Until next time, keep questioning the truth.